Welcome back. In this video, we're beginning our discussion of hedonism, one of the oldest and most debated theories of well-being in philosophy. Let's begin with value theory. This area of philosophy asks, what does it mean to live a good life? What makes life worth living? Philosophers call this a theory of well-being. An important part of this discussion is distinguishing between intrinsic value and instrumental value. Something is intrinsically valuable if it's good in and of itself, valuable for its own sake. Something is instrumentally valuable if it's good because of what it leads to. It's an instrument. For example, money is not usually considered intrinsically valuable. Rather, it's instrumentally valuable because it allows us to buy things or to meet our needs. By contrast, friendship might feel valuable in and of itself, not just as a means to something else. When we ask students, or really anyone, what they most want out of life, the answer usually comes down to, I want to be happy. So we pursue education, careers, health, and relationships, but why do we do this? Usually it's because we believe those things will make us happy. So in other words, happiness is the ultimate goal of our actions. It's what philosophers call the thing that is intrinsically valuable. And that's exactly what hedonism argues. Hedonism is the theory that pleasure or happiness is the only thing that's intrinsically good, and pain or unhappiness is the only thing that's intrinsically bad. Everything else derives its value only insofar as it leads to pleasure or avoids pain. According to the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, ethical hedonism claims that only pleasure has worth or value, and only pain or displeasure has disvalue. That's the heart of the theory. If you want to know what makes life go well, the hedonist says measure how much happiness or pleasure it contains and how much suffering it avoids. But of course, as y'all know by now, philosophers are never content with simple answers. So what exactly do we mean by pleasure? Hedonists distinguish between two different kinds of pleasure: attitudinal pleasure and physical pleasure. Attitudinal pleasure refers to the positive attitude of enjoyment. It's the sense of fulfillment you get when you finish a big project, or the deep satisfaction of spending time with close friends. It might include the joy of learning something new, or the pride in achieving a personal goal. These aren't just bodily feelings, they're attitudes of the mind. By contrast, physical pleasure refers to sensations in the body: the sweetness of chocolate cake, the warmth of a hot bath, the thrill of a roller coaster. These pleasures are often immediate and sensory. Alright, let's take a second and pause for a minute here. Think about your own life. What matters more to you in the long run? A fleeting taste of chocolate cake, or the lasting sense of fulfillment you get from accomplishing something important? That's the kind of question hedonists wrestle with. Some hedonists argue that attitudinal pleasures are more significant for well-being than physical pleasures. Others, like Jeremy Bentham, who we'll study soon, argue that all pleasures are equal, whether they're physical or attitudinal. That disagreement will later shape versions of hedonism and eventually utilitarianism. To sum it all up, hedonism is the view that happiness is the only intrinsic good and unhappiness the only intrinsic bad. So the details, what kind of happiness and how to pursue it, those will vary, and we'll explore that as we look at different philosophers. In the next video, we'll turn to the history of hedonism, from Aristotle to Jeremy Bentham to John Stuart Mill, and see how each thinker interpreted the role of happiness in the good life. Alright y'all, that's all for now. If you're interested in more videos about philosophy and ethics, take a look at the videos that are posted on our channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.